To begin, go to the Shanks tab and choose the Curve command. Create a curve for size United States 7, then click to accept. Use Pan, Zoom, and Rotate to adjust your view, and then choose Zoom Extents All to center everything in the viewport. Hold Shift and click on Shaded Mode so it applies to all viewports. Now maximize the front view. Go to the Curve tab and start adding some reference curves. Select the Line command. Type 0 and press Enter to set the center as the starting point, then type 12.26 millimeters. Hold Shift to enable ortho so the line stays vertical along the Z-axis and click at the top. To run the Line command again, right-click. With OSNAP active, pick the upper point of the line. Type 2.36 millimeters, hold Shift, and click to the left. Right-click once more. Select the lower point of the first line, or the axis center, and draw a curve toward the far left end of the upper curve. Delete the first two lines, keeping only the last one, and place it on a separate layer for clarity. Now create another vertical line from the center, this time 10.85 millimeters high along the Z-axis. Move it to the same layer as the previous curve so they stay organized. Switch back to the 4 views and recenter the viewport contents. Go to the Diamonds tab and use the Studio command to create a gem. For the shape, choose Oval. Set the caret size to 0.16 and click Add. From the top view, rotate the gem 90 degrees. Then select it and type Move in the command bar. In the OSNAP panel, enable Vertex so you can easily pick a vertex. Click on the gem's culet and move it to the uppermost part of the ring circle, using OSNAP guides to help with positioning. With the gumball, raise the gem by 1.70 millimeters. Now it's properly positioned. From the front view, select the diagonal line and then its lower control point. Right-click on the gumball options at the bottom and change its alignment to Object. Raise the point until it gets close to the gem. Switch to wireframe mode to see inside the gem and keep moving the point until it sits inside the gem's girdle. Select the curve, go to the Transform tab, and apply the Mirror command. In the command bar, pick the Y-axis option. This gives you a mirrored curve on both sides. Next, open the Curve tab and use the Blend command to join the two lines. Select the lower ends of the curves. Then hold Shift and drag one of the lower points until the base of the curve reaches the central reference line. Make sure the options are set to tangency. If you need to flip directions, use the panel provided. Once the shape looks correct, click to accept. Return to shaded mode. Delete the central reference line, then select the two side lines plus the blend curve. Use Join to merge them into one. With the new curve selected, use the Fit command to reduce the control points of the curve. Leave the default tolerance at 0.1 millimeters and press Enter. Now go to the Analyze tab and choose the Distance command. Measure from the center of the curves to the upper end of the ring curve. The value should be 2.146 millimeters. Select the curve again. Open the Curve tab and use the Offset command. Enter 2.146 millimeters in the command bar, then click on the lower side of the curve. The offset should align perfectly with the ring curve. Change this new curve to a different layer. Use the Fit command to reduce the control points of the curve. With the curve selected, go to the Transform tab and apply Quick Polar Array. Add the curve to the selector, set the number of copies to 11, and accept. Do the same with the gem. Select it, apply Quick Polar Array, set the copies to 11, and confirm. Now both the curves and the gems are distributed evenly around the ring. Switch back to shaded display mode. Switch back to the 4 views. Right-click on the curve layer color to select them all. Then go to the upper left corner and choose the Trim command. Cut the curve ends carefully. Once done, press Enter to finish. Next, go to the Shanks tab and create a classic ring. Without selecting a preset, click Edit. Start by adjusting the profile. Click on the right side of the shape, then move the control points as shown in the video until you match the desired outline. Click Accept once you're done. Now edit the parameters. Set the width to 3.40 millimeters. Adjust the height to 3.80 millimeters. Change the interior type to solid. Click Accept again to generate the classic ring. Select the new shank. Go to the Transform tab and apply the Copy command. In the command bar, choose In Place. Move this duplicate to another layer as a backup, then lock and hide it. From the front view, switch to wireframe mode. Go to the Curve tab, open the Arc submenu, and choose the first option. Start, End, Point on Arc. Zoom in and pick one end of the pink curve, then the other end on the right. For the arc's curvature, draw it so it extends slightly beyond the shank. Select the curves and join them using Join. Simplify with the FIT command to reduce points. Now we need to join the inner curves. First, we will move the top curve to another layer. Then, right-click on the color of the inner curves layer to select them. Now we can join them using the Join command. Now use the FIT command to reduce the points of the resulting curve. We can now return to the four views. Select the upper curve from the top view. Hold Shift and drag the small sphere of the gumball to extrude the curve to both sides of the shank so that it extends beyond it. Then do the same with the internal curves. Move the created extrusions to another layer to keep everything more organized. Now we will go to the Solid tab. Use the Boolean difference command. Now select the shank and press Enter, then select the central extrusion and press Enter again. Next, select the top extrusion and go to the Transform tab and use the Quick Polar Array command to create the copies of the upper extrusion. Add it to the selector and change the number of copies to 11. Then, accept the command. Now use the Boolean difference command, select the shank, and press Enter. Then select each of the outer copies and press Enter again. Now we already have the base shape of our ring. To continue, I will go to the Curve tab, then I will use the Offset on Surface command. I will select the edges of the hole in the upper part. I make sure that the arrows are pointing down, flipping them in the command bar if necessary. Then we will type 0.4 millimeters and press Enter. Now we will select the inner curve. We will move it to the outside of the ring using the gumball so that it remains at the same height. I will use the Offset command. As the measurement, we will type 0.4. In the options of the command bar, we will make sure to have the corner option set to sharp and make an exterior offset. Select that offset and use the FIT command to reduce it. Then, from the front view, project the curve onto the shank. We can hide the two curves used. Now we will make a quick polar array of the upper curve, also with 11 copies. Now we will go to the Solid tab. Use the Extract Surface command to extract the surface of the shank, making sure that the copy option is active in the command bar. We can change the resulting surface to another layer to have better control over it. We will activate the layer of the surface as the main one and hide the shank. Now, as we can see, we only have the outer surface. Since I had the last curves in the same layer as the shank, I hid them. Show the layer again, select the curves by typing cell CRV in the command bar, then change these curves to another layer. Now we can hide the shank. Now select all the offsets and the shank. Then use the Trim command. We will cut everything that protrudes beyond the offsets. To improve visualization, Activate the shaded mode to see what you are cutting. Take your time. If you make a mistake, you can press Ctrl-Z to go back. Do not rush. Pause the video if necessary. If it makes the work easier, hide the gem layers. When you have everything cut as in the resulting shape in the video, press Enter to end. Return to showing all views and check all perspectives so you do not miss any surface to cut. Now we will go to the Surface tab and use the Offset Surface command. We will select the remaining surface. We will change in the command bar the option to both sides. Then we will set a distance of 0.25 mm and press Enter to create the offset. Now, show the shank. Go to the Solid tab. Then we will use the Boolean difference command. We will select the shank and press Enter, then select the offset and press Enter again. Now we already have our channel for the diamonds. Now we will also show the original shank without cuts. We will use it to hollow out the ring and reduce some weight. We will select it, and in the outliner we will click on Edit. Adjust the height to 3.20 mm. If it's easier, switch to wireframe mode to check that it doesn't extend past the gem girdle. In this case, 3.20 mm leaves enough metal to hold the stones securely while still reducing weight. And we will also leave the width at 1.7 mm to leave a margin in the recessed areas and make it a solid and strong model. Now we can accept the command. In the Solid tab, we will use the Boolean difference command. Select the cut shank and press Enter, then the shank we have just edited and press Enter. This way, we have hollowed out the shank while keeping its structure and allowing the gems to capture more light. Now we simply have to add the gems to our model. To do this, we will go to the front view, then select the shank and go to the Diamonds tab and use the Manual Pave command. Add the shank to the selector. Change the gem size to 1.3 mm and click on Add. First, we will add one in the center of the upper part, and another next to it. Then one on the upper part on one side of the shank, since we will make a mirror for the other side. Then one at the intersection. To finish adding gems, you just need to right-click, and this will exit the editing mode. To adjust the gems even more, we can create a line that marks the center of the shank from the top view. You can delete the upper gem and add another from the top view. Now that you have the two at the ends, you can delete the others and reposition them. Place one in the middle of the intersection of the two channels and another between the two gems. This way, we have something more precise. Right-click to finish the editing and then accept the command to create the gems. Now ungroup the gems by typing Ungroup in the command bar. Then select the gems on the left, type Mirror in the command bar, type 0 and press Enter, and while pressing Shift-click on the upper part to create the mirror. Now, in the Diamonds tab, we will use the Dynamic Prongs command. Click on the selector and add the surface of the channel. For the prongs, we will set a diameter of 0.5 mm. Then for over girdle, we will use 0.30 mm. Under girdle will be left at 0.30 mm. And finally, extension for manufacturing at 0.30 mm. We will use X symmetry to add the prongs. We will add the prongs to the gems little by little, without rushing. Take your time and pause the video if necessary. Remember that you can delete a prong if you don't like its position. Also, use the guides to make sure you are positioning it correctly. Then we will accept the command. We will now select both the gems and the prongs, and we will make another mirror. We will press 0 and enter to set the center. Then remember to press Shift so that the positioning is more precise. Now we can place the prongs that we are missing. We will set the parameters again and add the missing prongs. This time we can use X and Y symmetry and a measurement of 0.60 millimeters in diameter. Once the last prongs have been added, we only need to apply the cutters. I will hide the rest of the model to make the work easier. In the Diamonds tab, use the Cutters command. Add all the gems to the selector. For this model, as they are small gems, we will use the 4th preset, and we will accept the command. Now we will ungroup the cutters and select all the elements, gems, prongs, and cutters, except those at the far right, as shown in the video. If it is easier for you, you can select those we do not need and type Hide to hide them. This way, select only what interests you. Once the remaining elements are selected, type Show in the command bar to show everything that is hidden. Now we will go to the Transform tab, and we will use the Quick Polar Array command. We will add the objects to the selector and set the copies to 11. We see how there is one end that appears half green and half pink. We must delete the duplicated elements. Accept the command. Now select the elements in the corner that we saw in 2 colors and check if they are duplicated. Delete the extra copy. Once finished, we can show the entire model. Now we will go to the Solid tab. We will use the Boolean difference command. We will select the shank and press Enter, then the cutters and press Enter. As we can see, we now have the cut shank. We have our model completely finished. As an extra, if we want to round the edges to make a render, we can copy the model and create fillet edges. To do this, use the Fillet Edges command. Set the measurement to 0.15 millimeters. Select all the edges you want to round, and simply press Enter. I will speed up the process so you can see the result. This, for rendering, is an option that gives an excellent finish to your model. Take your time. And remember that this last step is optional for the final render. And here, you would have the final result, with more organic edges. We will leave a reference render, but do not hesitate to share yours with us.